beautiful people, and welcome back to the channel. You know the man, Coach Mike James. You know the brand P&Z Life Coaching, and I'm back again with another dope episode of my chair's in the way. Black business booming, baby. Y'all know. Before we get started, stop what you're doing. Stop what you're doing. Go ahead and subscribe. Subscribe and hit that bell so you get notifications of all these dope interviews. Black business booming, impactful conversation, my motivational videos, dubs of the day, and welcome back. So y'all hear me all the time talk about my dope family, my web, my Convos fam, and I'm so excited. I'm excited about this interview today because I have yet another dope soul on here, someone I connected with, and one of the few of my Convos fam. It's a handful that I've actually met and hung out with. So I'm excited about today. So I'm not going to hold it because we really like family, and I don't know where this is going to go. So we're going to jump into it. So sis, without further ado, just introduce yourself. Tell everybody your name and where you're from and any background information before we jump all up in your business.
Well, thank you so much for having me here. I really appreciate it. My name is Naisha, but everybody who loves me calls me Nini. I was actually showing y'all my bracelet. It says Nini, but my necklace says Naisha. So I'll go by either one of them. Just don't call me outside of those names.
I know that's right.
I'm from Columbia. Okay. I'm from Columbia, South Carolina. I am a middle school English language arts teacher. I'm also certified to teach secondary, but I love the babies, the middle school kids. I didn't go back in the classroom this year, but COVID, and then they gave me an opportunity to focus on my company itself. So I'm excited to be here. I can't wait. I've never been on this side of the interview table before, so I'm excited.
Going down. I love it. I love it. Listen, you are a woman of many talents. So I want you to go ahead and tell everybody your business and when you started it and what inspired you to do so.
Well, so let me just back up a little bit. I actually started my business in 2013. A lot of people don't know that, but Marnie Enterprises has been in business since March 13th, 2013. What happened? I remember in the classroom, all the teachers dressed alike. Even when I was growing up in school, my teachers used to wear that same denim dress with the patches on them, and it was not flattering at all. They all
Right.
looked the same. They even smelled alike. Like I'm pretty sure they shop in the same stores. They bought the same perfumes because all my teachers smelled alike. And I didn't want to be that type of teacher. So when I graduated from college in 2011. The first thing that I did was when I become a teacher, what I'm not going to do is dress like that. So
And smell like that.
And smell like that.
I love it.
So I started looking into different apparel that educators could wear without being deemed inappropriate. And I started finding wholesale vendors to sell to me. And most of them were like, you don't have a business, I can't sell to you. So I was like, you know what, good point, touche. Let me get my coins together. Let me get my ducks in order. And that's what I did. I coined the LLC, Marnie Enterprises. That's Marnie, the M-A-R for Marcus. The N-I-E is the first part of Naisha. So Marcus, Naisha, me and my husband's name is Marcus. Yeah, so that's where Marnie Enterprises came from. And I called it an LLC simply because I knew deep down inside that there was going to be more to come besides a clothing boutique. Mm-hmm. And here we are 8 years later with multiple businesses under that umbrella. I'm excited. I can't wait to share more about it with you. But that's where it started. I didn't like the way the teachers looked. And I knew I wasn't going to be that teacher with that long denim dress and with that funny smelling perfume. So I wanted to have a space where teachers can shop, be cute.
Let me just say that I think that's so dope because everybody has a why. And typically you're starting a business, you're answering a gap or void that you see. And for yours, it's so funny. Like, man, I ain't trying to do that. That ain't it. So what I'm going to do, that's so amazing. I love it.
What, and do you remember what your teachers used to wear?
I do. I really do. And one in particular, yeah, I do. Like even the belt, the brown belt, like the long blue jean skirt right up to here. With the shirt.
Right up. Right. Exactly.
And the
I
brown
used to be that
belt.
teacher.
Yes.
Listen, let me tell you something about being in the classroom. When you got all 25 pairs of eyes looking at you, they are going to judge you from the crown of your head to the sole of your feet, baby. Okay.
That's true.
And I wasn't trying to have them talk about Miss Mac like that.
Man, come
And
on.
wasn't I even went on a whole diet, y'all, to lose weight because I didn't want my kids to call me Miss Fat Mac. So I made that name up in my head. But I know middle school, I know these kids. I didn't want them to call me Miss Fat Mac. So, I had lost some weight or whatever before I started back teaching.
That's so dope. Look, shout out to all my teachers. I know I have some teachers that follow the channel. Shout out to all my teachers, man. Y'all drop some fire in the comments because I know that resonates with y'all. So shout out to my teachers and my educators. So you talked about in starting that, and I love Marnie. Like, I didn't know that. I didn't know that's what that meant. So dope. You know what? That's the whole reason, sis, why I do Black Business Booming, why I do Impactful Conversations, because there's so many little things that you don't just know when you connect. So that's why I do it. So you talked about multiple businesses. So what are those businesses that are under that umbrella that you started?
I'll go in order from when I started them. So under Marnie Enterprises LLC is obviously, it started off as Belus Boutique, and that's short for Belu en Don You, which means beautiful you inside and out, is what it translates to. It got shortened to Belus Boutique and then Belfash.
Nice.
As simple as that. Belfash now. That's the new name, Belfash. But it's still part of the Belus Boutique concept. That's where you can find this dress, levels, and more of my dresses, jewelry, things like that, or purses, all those things on my website. That's Belfash. And then after Belfash came Marnie Designs, which is my husband's graphic design company. So any artwork you see on my website, anything you see me post, 9 times out of 10, he did it. And the other 1% was me.
Nice.
The other 1 out of 10, I did it. But he taught me how to utilize these different software programs. So I already had a creative eye anyway. So I was able to create some of the things on my own. Like my manifestation guide, for example, he helped me design it. But the vision was placed in my head and I just put it on the computer. After Marnie Designs came the Big and Nene experience. The Big and Nene experience. So my husband's nickname is Big Mac. My nickname is Nene. So the Big and Nene experience is where we go travel, which we travel all the time. We go different countries. We travel to different cities, different states. And we really don't have any rhyme or reason why we be going to these places. It don't be nobody's birthday, no anniversary.
I know that's
no
right.
Celebration. We just be going just because that would be really cool to go there. I've never been there before. Let's go. And then we'll book a flight and go. So the Big and Nene experience is us documenting our travel journey. So restaurants, new foods that we try, new adventures, things like that. That's the Big and Nene experience. After the Big and Nene experience came Celestial Healing Garden. Celestial Healing Garden is where I sell my white sage, my stones, my feathers, my abalone shells to hold the white sage for like smudging and things like that. We do henna tattoos because my husband does tattoos. He does the henna tattoos. Whenever we were at like festivals and stuff, we used to do that a lot before COVID. This is pre-COVID. Celestial Healing then started doing things for inner healing. And that birthed PositiviTEA. Nice. As a teacher, I was the only teacher in my school that did not drink coffee in the mornings. I drink tea. It's my little teaspoon.
Nice.
My little teacup. This is tea right here too. I don't drink coffee. I drink tea. And I always try to give positive vibes wherever I go. PositiviTEA technically started through text message back in the day. I used to send words of encouragement in the morning, just like, hey, good morning. Just remember that today you get to create the day that you want to see happen. Go out there and kill them. Go out there and get things done. I would just send out like text blasts. Then Facebook came along and, at one time you had to have a college email to
College,
get on
that's right.
Facebook.
You had to have a college email.
Yes. So who I'm telling my age.
We just aged ourselves. We
definitely did. We definitely did. But then I started posting statuses and started sharing it with Facebook community. Then it went from there to Clubhouse, and people were falling in love with the sound of my voice, which I absolutely hated how I sound. But other people fell in love with my voice, and so I connected with this gentleman who came on the Convos app just recently. I met him on Clubhouse, and he was like, "You should record these affirmations that you're telling us, and let me put some music behind it. It'll be dope." And I'm just like, "Really? You think people will hear it?" And we did a couple of them, and it literally changed the game for PositiviTEA. It opened up a whole new window of opportunities for me. So I believe that's all of the businesses that we have under the umbrella for now.
Look, I talked about.
I'm sorry.
What you left out?
The Sunshine Shop. We don't really do a lot with it right now, but the Sunshine Shop, my daughter's name is Makeda. We call her Sunshine because she's our little sunshine. The bows that she wear, we actually sell those under her name. Is called the Sunshine Shop.
See,
so
look,
yes, that's
when
it.
I said a woman of many talents and gifts, and just the way I love to see how people show up in a space, right? Meaning, what's their aura, what's their vibes, their energy. And so hearing you say all that and bringing it together, it's like, yeah, that's why you're so dope. And that's why I said a woman of many talents. So that is amazing. And I love hearing the backstory, which each of those and how they develop. It's so awesome to hear that. So when you think back to the first thing being going all the way back to 2013, right? Crazy how much things change in that span of time. But when you go back to starting all those businesses, what were some of the challenges of getting started? Like, you have this idea, and then you go from this idea to boom, it's stamped as a business and we're going. What's some of the challenges of getting started?
So the biggest challenge would have to be capital. And I think for a lot of businesses, capital, when I say capital, I mean money. Mm-hmm. Don't call it what it is. Whenever you hear me say that, that's what I'm referring to. But I believe that a lot of businesses find that challenging to get the capital to do what they need to do for their brands or their companies. One of the things that we learned the hard way was don't do any work for anybody until you get paid for it.
Come on.
That is one of the biggest tips that I can give anyone. Get your deposits, okay? It doesn't have to be a big percentage, but if you have to purchase materials, at least get that covered, right? You may not get recouped for your time if they don't come back and pay for the balance, but at least get the money for the materials up front for your special orders or things that require special customization. If you make it for somebody and you can't sell it to anybody else, you need to get a deposit for that before you start producing work for them. So that was the biggest challenge for us, getting capital and standing firm on our policy for 50% deposit upfront, and the remaining balance should be paid prior to delivery of the goods.
Yeah, I love that. And that's important because in hearing that, I think that's one of, if not the first time, one of the rare occasions where I heard that it's the answer to that question on Black Business Booming. And it's important, like, with the fact that when you're starting out, especially small businesses, that capital is huge, having the money. So now when you render a service, make sure you get your coin first and get your deposit. I love that. So that's gems right there.
I will say this now about the capital. One of the things that I wish I knew back then that I've recently found out would be about the funding that is available. So especially for people of color, this is Black Business Booming. If you are a person of pigmented skin, you identify as Black or other, there are lots and lots of funding available to you. You just got to know how to find it. You got to know to connect with the right people that can give you those resources. But there are grants out there for minorities. And as a Black woman in business, I'm a double minority. I knew that before I even started my
Yeah.
business. I grew up in a community where there weren't many of us there. I went to predominantly white school. Even though it was a good bit of Black people there, it was a predominantly white school. The white people ran that school. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I was always a minority. I'm very well aware of that. But even coming into business, you know, the government has its ways, but I will say there are lots of things that they have afforded us. So take advantage of them if you can. And if you don't know how to complete a grant application, it's a small investment to connect with someone who does, so that you can get those funds in return. So definitely look out for grant money. I wish I knew that when I first started.
Look, that's some amazing advice. And for everyone watching and those who are in business, that's important to know. Like you said, doing that proper research, the behind the scenes stuff, because it may be some time involved. It may be some investment in yourself, in your business involved, but that's really key, especially when there is funds to be used. So definitely thank you for sharing that. So now as you think about your businesses, and I know everyone heard you say your daughter, so being a parent, a wife, what are some of the day-to-day challenges of entrepreneurship for you? And that look right there. So share, what are some of the day-to-day challenges of running a business?
Let me get my list.
Yeah. Oh,
Just
come
kidding.
on. Come on.
I didn't write a list. One of the biggest challenges would have to be recognizing that, okay, first of all, my daughter's 2 years old. I'm 34. That tells y'all anything. We had a late start when it comes down to becoming parents. But thank God for it, because we are well established now, and I could teach her some things and I could show her some things. One of the things I would hate to do is to deprive her of seeing a Black business booming. So I want her to be present. I want her to be a part of this process. My baby would come down here and say, "Good morning, it's time for my affirmations," because that's what she calls affirmations. And she'll be like, she get her little toy laptop and sit in front of her and be like, "Okay, guys, this is PositiviTEA." Like, she's 2 years old, but she sucks everything. She soaks in everything. And I love that. I love it, but it's also a challenge because I'm okay with her being present when I'm creating my work. And when I'm being creative, I'm perfectly fine with her being in the moment. She doesn't know how to separate that from when I'm having like this interview right here. I know you probably can't tell. I went on mute and I sent her to her room because like now is not a good time, because she's very needy sometimes and she talks extremely loud and she likes to be heard, which I can't fault her for that, because so do I. I talk loud sometimes, some country. But
look,
being
Mimi,
able to
hold
separate,
on. I'm just thinking when you said that, I was like, man, that sounds familiar.
Sound like me, sound like you.
Right. Look, that's that Southern country vibe right there.
Exactly. But being able to separate that and tell her, like, you know, calm down or be quiet, please, just a moment, give me a second. She doesn't know when it's okay for her to be present and when she needs to remove herself. So, and I don't want to deprive her from my creative side, because I want her to see it. Like, look what mommy did. You can do the same thing or more. But at the same time, I need her to know, like, all right, this ain't the time for that. Then you think about being a wife. So I got mommy duties, I got wifey duties. I got to make sure the house is straight, food is cooked. My husband works full time. I was working full time and in business and being a mom and a wife on top of it. So now I get to set my own schedule. So some of that pressure has been alleviated off of me. But then at the same time, I still got those other hats that I wear. I talked about this before, but I think it's important for us, especially as individuals, to remember who you are, because we get so wrapped up in the things that we are responsible for doing. I'm responsible for being a mom. I'm responsible for being a wife. I'm responsible for being a daughter to my parents, a sister to my siblings. But people often forget that Naisha is her own person. I'm more than just Marcus's wife, Makeda's mom, Mary and Joseph's daughter, Salisha's sister. I'm more than that. And I don't think people get a chance to really see who I am deep down inside, because they see who I am based on my responsibilities. So I think it's important to find time for yourself And when you have a support system, it's easier to do that. My husband and I, we have that type of relationship where he knows that if I need to be alone or I need me time, don't call me, don't text me, don't ask me for nothing. Don't send Makeda in the room. No, you be daddy right now. Okay, you full-time daddy. I ain't even here. I pretend I'm not even here. Okay. Carry on as if I'm not present right now. So that's a challenge, but we make it happen. We make it work. And because he's so supportive and he sees the vision, right? We have eagle vision in our house. We don't look just at the destination that we're headed to.
I love that.
We look at the things that are around us as well. And I'm appreciative of my husband's support because I don't think I'd be able to do it all without his help. Yeah. So I'm grateful.
That's awesome. Shout out to Marcus, man. That's dope. Yeah. And I think that speaks to what you said too. A lot of times that speaks to just that communication. So that's amazing.
It all goes back to communication. And one of the things we talked about, I ain't even gonna call it that, but is being friends with people of different genders, or of the opposite sex. So in my case, I have male friends, he has female friends, and we're okay with that because we all individual. And I think it's selfish to expect one person to be your everything. That's a lot of pressure on one person. So let me say that.
Man, listen, you just dropping all the gems. You know, we get to the point of advice, but this whole interview has been advice and gems. So I appreciate that. So now we talked about challenges, right? We talked about challenges, but those things that make it all worth it, right? You even talked about Makeda being able to just show up and say, hey, it's time for the affirmations and seeing what you do and reflecting. And I think that's amazing. But what are some of those other things? We talked about the challenges, but what are those things that makes it like, I love being in business, entrepreneurship. You even talked about setting your schedule because that's one that I always hear, right? But what are some of those other, you know, the most satisfying part of running a business and being an entrepreneur?
Even when I worked in the private sector and the public sector, I've always found myself in a position of leadership where I am either training others, teaching others, or leading others. No matter what business I have, I tend to be a trailblazer. I'm not tooting my own horn or anything like that. But typically, whenever I start something in my area, not too many people are able to compete. They end up catching up. Does that make sense? They end up catching up to me. So I'm fortunate that I'm able to share some things with them. And part of the manifestation guide that I was talking about earlier has a sheet in there. It has a couple of sheets that says challenges on one side and solutions on the other side so that you can identify what your challenges are and you can identify your solutions. I created this with the sole purpose of being able to share it with somebody else. So my cup is filled when I'm filling other people's cup. And it makes me feel good to know that people are actually listening to me. They're actually taking my advice. They're following my business model and they're executing it. They're not just talking about it, but they're actually doing it. And they're seeing things be fruitful and they're multiplying their finances as a result. And being able to get that feedback, like, you know what, Naisha, you might not realize it, but what you said was just so impactful. It just made such a big difference in my life. You made me think about things I didn't think about before. That is so rewarding and it warms my heart to the core. That's what's so rewarding. I don't care how challenging it is. When I see the fruits of my labor, when I hear the feedback from other people, it's just like, dang, I did that.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly.
Yes. You know what I'm saying? That. It makes me feel great.
Yeah, so that's so amazing. Like you said, when you can hear that and you get the feedback, and you know, especially stay in a place of humility, but just be overjoyed, like, you know, really thankful and grateful that you had the opportunity to do that. I share with people all the time. My personal mission is to share my light, love, and positivity. So anytime I get some feedback or anytime there's light, laughter, love, positivity, anything like that shared, it comes back to me and I feel good about that. So you mentioned the manifestation guy and you were looking off to the right. Do you have that by you?
Oh, I do. Okay, so I do have it. I have the prototype. When I sent it to production and I approved of the prototype, I made slight modifications, which I will share it with you. But I do have it right here. That's why I kept looking off, because I'm
Nice.
looking at
Yes.
it while I'm talking about it. I actually have it copywritten too, which is why I don't mind sharing what's in it. It's my copyright certificate. And that's another thing I'm big on. Get your paperwork in order before you start a business. Make sure you have your ducks in a row. This copyright certificate ties me to every piece of content in this manifestation guide. So if it's on the market somewhere else and it doesn't have my name on it, it's a fraud. I will sue, and I
And
will
we
send
coming for
a
you.
cease and desist letter. No, real talk. I will.
Yes, definitely. That's important.
I will.
It's important to, again, to protect your vision, to protect your dream, because you put so much time and heart and soul. You talked about all your responsibilities, all the challenges.
Mm-hmm.
So now when you have a product, when you have a service, when you have a thing that it's you, protect that. I mean, of course, my green screen is up, but behind that is my certificate and copyrights. That's what's on the wall. So when you see my interviews or anything like that, or my motivation or whatever, that's what's on the wall. So protect that. So
that's what separates you as a hobby, what you do as a hobby from what you do as a business. Because if it's a hobby, you probably won't make that investment. But if you're serious about it and it's a true business, you're going to take care of it.
Come on. So now this amazing piece of, I don't know just to call it a guide, but art, fulfill, just beautiful how it's put together. So you got it there. So just show the people, how amazing that is, because I do want people to see this.
I'm gonna turn my camera around. But what I wanted to do was show you guys something to actually look at, because my computer screen right now is on my website. Y'all don't want to see that. So I'm gonna just pull up my logo.
Awesome.
Okay, there we go. All right. So let me double tap. Oh, I can't double tap on this. How do I turn the camera around? There you go. See it? Tell them my age again. I feel like my grandma.
Hey, for a moment there, it was the grandparent like, baby, how you work this thing?
How you do this, baby? Where the button at?
Yes.
So here it is. This is the manifestation guide. It's a celestial healing, and it's the Rose manifestation guide. Rose is simply an acronym for reflect, observe, seize, and events. And I actually define each one of them individually in this manifestation guide. But Rose is not just a flower. It's actually my family's last name.
Nice.
So my mom's grandmother, she was a Rose. But anyway, when you open it up, the box opens up to this message that says, hello, are you ready to manifest your wants and needs? Stop reading this box. Let's get started. And inside you will find, hold on, my box don't want to stay open. You will find a vegan leather, 100% PETA approved vegan leather pen case with the peace, love, and positivity slogan on it. My website, positivity.life, and that's the back of it. But inside are snappable bookmarks. A lot of people, when I tell them that, how about them do this? Boom, there we go. When I tell them that the bookmarks snap in and out, they're like, what does that mean? But when you actually see it in action, it makes more sense. But this is a very simple bookmark in front and back. This one, I did this one really for the guys, because I wanted something that didn't have too many flowers on it. Even though this manifestation guide can be for anybody, I still kind of wanted it to be a little masculine looking with this, at least. And here's the other one. But everything is about peace, love, and positivity.
Nice.
It also comes with a pen.
A beautiful
and it says
pen.
Celestial Healing, a life of positivity is written on it. And this writes really good. This pen is an amazing writing utensil. It feels good. It twists out, and there you go.
Nice.
But it's rose gold. And then you have
with
the actual guide itself. Exactly. Everything is intentional. I couldn't get this in rose gold though. They didn't have the rose gold coils, which I would have preferred. But this is yellow gold. It also has gold corners.
Nice. Come on,
and then when you
detail.
open it up, very detailed. When you open it up, has a little message in there for you about the rose activity. I did a PositiviTEA retreat the last weekend in May of this year. And this activity was done in there, and we were so productive. I said, I have got to bring this to other people, let them take advantage of this as well. But this is where I define reflect, observe, seize, and events. And
nice.
Yeah. So this is the guide. It's not just a whole bunch of blank pages. There's an activity that you are responding to in each one. So here we go with challenges and solutions, the page I was telling you about. And at the beginning of every month, before you start planning, there's a vision board that's going to be on this page right here.
Yeah.
And there's also a schedule creator. So you get to create your schedule. And if the schedule doesn't work for you, you get to do it again in the next month. So you can find whichever one that works best for you. But it's a monthly planner in here. And then as well as a weekly planner. And you have 52 weeks of these. You have 12 months and 7 days of affirmations. One for every day of the week. Motivational Monday, train your mind Tuesday. You basically train your mind to think positive thoughts. Health and Wellness Wednesday, Thankful Thursday, Find Yourself Friday, and Self-Worth Saturday. And last but not least, Spiritual Uplifting Sunday, and then an end of the week reflection on the end of your week.
That is amazing. Listen, that is so...
Thank you.
Definitely, we're definitely going to make sure that we drop that in the description because I want people to have an opportunity to have that. That is so amazing.
You know what? Because of you, Coach Mike, and your Black Business Woman and what you're doing, I'm going to give your viewers an exclusive coupon code.
Wait, what?
That they can use on my website. Yes. How does that sound?
Come on now. Let's go.
How does that sound?
Let me just speak to the people real quick. That's why I do what I do, and that's why I'm connected with a lot of amazing people that's doing some amazing things. Yeah. And so that's what you get when you check in with Black Business Booming. Sis, that's so amazing. I mean, just seeing that. Let me give
you a discount code right now.
Oh, look at it. Y'all see this in real time, people.
I'm going to give everybody, 15% off? Let's do 15% off their total purchase on my website, belfash.com. The manifestation guide is on there. It's also on PositiviTEA.life, but the coupon code will work if you use belfash.com to shop. Go to belfash.com and type in BBBMJ. So Black Business Booming MJ for Mike James. And you will take 15% off your total purchase. No minimum order. I have Afterpay, Shop Pay, Sezzle. You don't have to spend all your money at once. You can shop now, pay later. 4 equal installments, no credit check required. 1 coupon per customer. That's the only stipulation.
One-time order. Let's go.
One time.
Sis, you are amazing. I appreciate that. And people definitely take advantage of that. I love that. You are amazing. Just seeing that too, just coming to life. And that was amazing that for the first time people got a chance to see, like, I love you flipping that camera and taking them through it. And so now they know exactly what they're getting. So that is amazing. The presentation, the attention to detail, right?
Yeah.
That goes beyond anything right there. How, how amazingly it's put together and the time, you see the time and the passion that's put into that. So I definitely
lots of sleepless nights.
Oh, I can imagine. So you again, this whole interview has been nonstop advice and gems, right? And from time and communication and getting your money up front and finding the time to do what you love, investing in yourself, protecting your ideas and your passion. So is there anything, because you're so full of advice and talent and light and positivity. So, sis, is it any other advice that you would give for that person that's watching and they're saying, oh my God, I love this. She's inspired me. I think I can go into business. I can be an entrepreneur. For that young man, that young woman, or that person who's in business, any advice that you would give someone who's in the entrepreneurship, on the entrepreneurship journey, or wants to get started?
Let me tell y'all something. Life happens. It's important that you keep going, no matter what.
Come on, say that.
No matter what is going on around you, keep going, okay? Don't get distracted. Don't get sidetracked. You stay on the course. Your path is carved towards greatness. I need you to act like you know. So don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask for help. And one thing I will have to tell y'all one more time, keep going. It may get tough. It may get difficult. It may be challenging at times. And you may be asking yourself, what the hell did I get into? It's okay. Remember the bigger picture. Remember the bigger purpose. And keep going. Do not stop.
Go.
Do not stop. Just keep going. Even when it's hard, there's been times I've battled depression in business, trigger alert. And there's been times when I talked about it on The Naked Truth. I've woken up before, like, God, why did you wake me up this morning? I prayed last night and asked you to allow me to remain asleep because I didn't have the energy to deal with some of the attacks that were on my spirit. But I am grateful that God saw a bigger purpose for me. And he knew it wasn't time for me to lay down for good. He knew it wasn't time for me to rest my eyes forever. He knew I had more work that needed to be done. And he gave me the energy to get up out of the bed, brush my teeth, because that was one of the hardest things that I could do. Get out of bed and at least brush my teeth. I used to struggle with that. That's how much I wanted to just stay down, right? And when God gave me the energy to get up, I got up and I took off like a rocket and I did not stop. And I have not stopped. And give yourself grace. Give yourself a pat on the back. And if you find that you're being overwhelmed or it's getting to be a little bit too much, don't be afraid to take a moment and say, okay, let me chill for a second. But get back into it. It's okay to pause, but don't stop. Keep going.
I love that. And for anyone who's not new to my channel or my videos in any social media spaces, y'all know my 4Ks. Keep going, keep grinding, keep showing, keep shining. And again, that's the reminder to you. That's the reminder to that voice in the back of your head that questions if you can or if you can't. That's the message for the haters. That's the message for the naysayers. It's all in there. So I love that. Keep going. Nini, it's been amazing. I love this. So you already shared the discount code, but just let the people know how they can find you in the social media world and how they can connect with you to get more of your positivity. Because I'm telling you, I've enjoyed this so much. It's been amazing. And I definitely want people to connect with you and so they can continue to be enriched by your presence.
I would love that. So if you follow me on Instagram, which is at Nene Terry, NENETERRI, in the bio, you will find a onuniverse.com link, which is very similar to Linktree, except you can have a video in the background and it's so cute and stuff and things like that. And you don't even have to pay extra. Like Linktree, you got to pay for a video, but this one you don't. So it's called onuniverse.com. You'll find that link in my Linktree. It'll give you a link to the manifestation guide. It'll give you a link to my Instagram page for Celestial Healing. My TikTok is on there. My Twitter is on there. PositiviTEA.life and Fashion with Belfash. All of those handles are in that On Universe link, which is in my bio of my Instagram at Nene Terry.
Nice. I love it.
I also have a YouTube channel, but it's not on there. And YouTube is not updated. But if you want to see some of the things that I've done in the past, and that reminds me of one of the businesses I left out. I just thought about that. They Lose Buzz. It was nice. When I used to do like celebrity interviews on camera. And I was recorded. I did Elvarna, Talib Kweli, and a couple of local celebrities in the Carolinas. Their on-camera interviews are on my YouTube page. And it was Belu's Buzz, and that was my whole journalism thing. If you go to NiniTerry.com, you'll find some of my old work. You can go to NaishaM.com. That's Naisha, like my government name, M for Macmillan. NaishaM.com. You do some of my more professional work, things in the private sector with businesses. PositiviTEA.life. You'll find all of my affirmations, but that's on the On Universe link. Belfash.com for the fashion, and I think that's all.
Just when you think you know everything about Nene, she got something else in the cards. And that's why I started at the top saying a woman of many talents and gifts. You are amazing, sis. I definitely appreciate you taking the time out to do this and just sharing this with my audience. I know people will enjoy this, and I can't wait for them to see the bloopers because we have some good bloopers for y'all.
We actually missed a lot of bloopers for y'all because he pressed recording late. We got 18 minutes worth of bloopers that nobody got a chance to see.
But we got plenty. So what I think I might do, y'all stay tuned after the credits. I might roll some bloopers after the credits. So yeah, y'all stay tuned for that. But sis, thank you so much for doing this. I appreciate you. I appreciate all of you for coming back for another episode of Black Business Booming. And make sure you come back. We'll see y'all next time on another episode of Black Business Booming. Thanks to Nene Terry. Thanks to all of you. Peace.
You should have been recording for 18 minutes.
What'd you say?
Got it. We should have been recording the past 18 minutes. You would have had some nice bloopers for Black Business Booming.
You know.
Can you see the ombre?
I'm glad. The ombre? What is that? Oh my God.
What an ombre is. So like, you know when the sun be like setting and then the sky be like purple and then lavender and then like a reddish and then like a oranges and then like a yellow and then like that's ombre when the colors go from one to the next.
Is that like?
So what I've been trying to do,
Is that like French for layered umbrella or something like that? Ombre.
That sounds right. Yeah, that's ombre. Layered umbrella. So basically. Basically, what I had did was I had put like the one color on the outside of my lip, and then I did the inside with another color. We call that ombre. Mm-hmm. Okay, enough playing. We done played long enough.
I'm glad I met you because I would be like, how did they connect me with her? Because she is all over the place. She's funny. You know what? We might be family.
Not all over the place. We probably is because where you playing. We ain't
just your personality and all that stuff. Like I think you might be my distant cousin.
Over the top. I can be that way sometimes.
Here we go.
Just
3,
like my cousin,
2,
Coach Mike. Okay, let's go. I'm ready.
All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. What's in business?
Why did my whole picture just fell off the wall? I love when stuff like this happens. Bloopers. Hey, everybody. If you're just tuning us, let me tell y'all what happened. My picture just legit just slid off the wall like it was right. And then it left the other one leaning. Can y'all see that? I was like, why is my picture sliding off the wall? He stopped the recording. I was like, the people need to see this. Let me tell you something. This is a good segue to give my advice that you was telling me to offer.